Joshua Smurphat's fall from the drop zone ride meant instant death. It could have been much worse for the 12-year-old if he did not land on his head, because that would have meant severe injuries, excruciating pain, and a very painful death. Joshua's short life was not easy because he was born mentally and physically handicapped and did not fit in most circles, but his family made sure that he lived a good and happy life. Everyone loved little Josh. He even played in a special baseball Little League team for disabled children. Somehow, on that tragic day, he slipped right through the safety bar of his seat in the drop zone ride and plunged to his death from about 100 feet high. He landed headfirst at a speed of no less than 50 miles per hour. His mother watched him get ejected and desperately ran towards where he was destined to fall. She believed that somehow she might be able to catch him. She arrived at his body seconds later to find a horrific scene of blood splatter. Joshua fell fast, hard, and right on his head. He instantly died. Stay tuned for the story of Joshua Smurphat's death at Paramount's Great America Drop Tower Ride. 12-year-old Joshua Smurphat of Sunnyvale, California, often frequented Paramount's Great America amusement park. Like his parents and siblings, he loved the place. His favorite ride was the Drop Zone. The Drop Zone is the name of a 207-foot-high drop tower ride, incorporating a central tower with vertical tracks. A gondola carrying riders is lifted to the top of the large vertical tower, then released to free fall down the tower at about 60 miles per hour. Brakes slow the gondola as it approaches the bottom of the ride. Riders initially experience free fall, followed by rapid, heavy deceleration. On August 22, 1999, Joshua was having plenty of fun with his mother and two siblings at Paramount's Great America amusement park. And, as usual, he headed to the drop zone to get his mega thrill of a day. Everything was working just fine. His safety bar was lowered in place and secured, and off he went with the other passengers. The gondola skyrocketed upwards to the highest point of the tower at about 207 feet, where it hovered for a couple of seconds before dropping downwards at the speed of about 60 miles per hour. Joshua loved that ride. It made him feel alive, which is understandable, because the freefall feeling it simulates equals the feeling of flying without a plane. It simply gave the thrill seekers their fix of adrenaline rush. But something was different that day. Something was bothering young Joshua on the way down. Something was simply not in its place. At about 100 feet high, just as the drop zone's magnetic brakes began to gradually slow down the gondola before it reached the ground, Joshua was ejected from his seat. He flew in the air, heading towards the ground, head first. He died instantly. Joshua did not suffer. According to a person who was riding in the same gondola, he heard a strange sound and thought the harness holding Joshua popped open mid-ride, but investigators said later that his harness was found locked and secured when the ride ended. Another witness who was on the ground waiting for his turn to take the ride saw the bar fly up after the ride started braking to stop. He was certain that Joshua was kind of struggling to stay in his seat, then suddenly flew out, flipped cartwheel style over, and fell straight down on his head. Joshua's mother had to endure the whole tragedy unfolding before her. She ran, hoping that somehow she could catch him before he hit the concrete ground. She approached her son's body in a state of hysteria and began screaming, "Why didn't they put the bar down? How could this happen?" She was in a state of shock and disbelief. Blood was pouring from poor Joshua's crushed head. Even part of his brain was exposed. It was the worst thing a mother can endure. Soon, the ambulance services arrived, and Joshua was pronounced dead on sight. Another witness said that he did not remember Joshua's safety harness being checked by workers before the ride began, and pointed out that one of the ride's workers in charge of checking the safety bars that day looked way too young and was probably unqualified. Initial reports by the amusement park said they could not confirm or deny whether the harness was open. Greg Sanders, the ride maintenance manager for the park, said the harness is electronically operated, can be lifted only after the ride has stopped at the bottom, and there is no way to unlock it when the ride is in motion. The Santa Clara police began the investigation and held meetings with Paramount's Great America officials and the ride's manufacturer, the Switzerland-based Intamin AG, to discuss what could have happened. These meetings added to the mystery because they didn't provide any results. Something was not right, and no one knew what or how. On one hand, witnesses said that the bar opened mid-ride, and the workers didn't check that Joshua was seated properly with his bar down and locked, while the engineers said that it is impossible for the safety bar to open when the ride is in motion. The mystery was growing, and the focus moved to the possibility that Joshua slipped through the safety bar. Detectives got involved to make sure that there wasn't any criminal negligence or any use of controlled substances or alcohol by ride operators. They also examined the ride equipment to determine if anyone wanted to hurt Joshua, who was mentally and physically disabled. They soon concluded that it was probably an unfortunate accident. Joshua's death was the second fatal accident at Great America Paramount's theme park since it opened. Nearly 2 million people used to take the ride every year. Joshua's mother, Tammy Smurphat, never recovered from the horrors of watching her son's death. She later said in an interview, "I saw my son fly off the ride. I tried to go in the gates. I wanted to run in and catch him, but I couldn't. And I saw him fall to the ground, to his death, right in front of my eyes." For weeks after the incident, people daily left flowers at the park's entrance. His relatives left notes saying, "Josh, you are so beautiful to me. We miss you, honey." Joshua's family was receiving hundreds of calls a day from media outlets, community organizations, you name it. Eventually, they had to issue a statement clarifying how devastated they were and just wanted to be left alone. The manufacturer of the ride, Intamin AG, denied responsibility and blamed the rider and operator error. They issued a statement saying that their rides are safe when people are responsible and follow instructions. However, experts disagree. They say that the ride should be designed to withstand all foreseeable circumstances, including unconsciousness, wiggling, and obesity. Joshua's parents did launch a lawsuit. However, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office announced that they found no grounds for charges to be brought against Paramount's Great America. All investigations by the theme park and outside safety experts concluded that the safety harness used to restrain Joshua was in a down and locked position for the duration of the ride, that the ride was in proper mechanical condition, and that there was no evidence of operator error. The final words were, "We may never know exactly what happened to Joshua. However, we do know that Joshua was somehow able to slide between the locked harness and the seat, and we have taken steps to ensure that this can never happen again." The park later established a campership fund in Joshua's memory to provide opportunities for other children with disabilities to enjoy their lives. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get notified every time we upload a new video that will take you to the heart of the scenes and mysteries of some of the most terrifying incidents, accidents, disasters, and paranormal events from around the world.